Okay. Right. Online, audible to everyone. Just type in the chat box. Okay. Right. Thank you. Okay. Now coming to our concept. So yesterday we discussed about what query. So today also I am going to give the some high level discussion. Why the people is not attending offline? It is good for you, right? So you are coming advanced Java, but not for Spring. Completed. Okay. 2 days back. Okay. Enjoy. Right. Okay. I saw most of the guys in the lab. Okay, that Spring Boot batch. Why you are in the lab, I'm not sure, without knowing anything. Just copy paste. That is for typing speed increased, not for technology. Faculty Prasad. Topic data JPA. Data JPA custom query. Custom query. So this is what the concept. So yesterday we already discussed almost all about the query. Okay, right. The query annotation purpose is what? Yesterday we discussed it. Okay, I'm not going in depth because we already covered yesterday. Okay, but I will give the clarity about the query. Sorry to interrupt. Oh my God. I got a non-IT job. So my question is how many days it might take to complete our course so that I could manage time. Satish. Yeah, just max 20 to 25. Okay, you can. Okay, the next month, mid, we are going to close the session. Maybe first week or maybe second week in between. Okay, Satish, you can plan accordingly. Next month, maybe first or second week, we'll close it out. But the microservices we are going to discuss after this data JPA, we are going to discuss about the association mapping. One to one, one to many, many to one, many to many. Okay. Once it is complete, then we can go for microservices. Okay. We will see. Okay. Right. Coming to the query interface, query annotation. What is the purpose of this query annotation? Can you tell me this annotation? Yesterday we discussed, right? This annotation purpose is what? It supports, this annotation supports what? Supports select and non-select operations. Non-select operations. Non-select operations. See, guys, non-select means what? There is a conditions are applied. What non-select operations can you tell me? update and what? Delete, but not insert. Yes or no? So for insert, we have a method called what? Save method. There is a method called what? Save method. That's why we are not okay. So we don't have that insert operation by using this query. We have only for what? Update and what? Delete operation. Okay, right. The next one, what do we discuss? It supports what? It supports it supports it supports what? Both SQL and what? HQL or JPQL, right? JPQL. That is JPQL is what? JPQL stands for Java Persistency Query Language. Okay, this query annotation is going to support for what? Both. That is SQL and what? HQL or what? JPQL. HQL stands for Hibernate Query Language and JPQL is what? Java Persistency Query Language. Okay, the next one. So these are all yesterday we discussed, right? And it supports what? It supports what? Data projections. Yes or no? We discussed yesterday. Data projections what? The specific column select. What is that? The specific column select. So that is called what? Data projections. Okay, it will support what? Data projections. Okay, we can even pass what? Parameter. Yes or no? We can pass what? Parameter. That is what? At runtime. Data at what time? Data at runtime. Data at what? Runtime. The next one is what? The next one what? We can implement joins also, right? We can implement joins. In the database, there is a joins here. Like what? Inner join, right? Left join, right join, left outer join. There is a multi, right? And etc. Just I written just two joins. Okay, right. We can able to call procedures. We can procedure calls also. We can procedure calls also. This is what yesterday we discussed about that, right? Even the operator, how we are going to frame that query, like instead of select star from employee or something, so we are not using star, the specific column, or maybe you can use what? Some alias names also, right? That's all about it. We can, right? So here there is a in operator, that is input operator. We have to use output parameters also. We can, that is it can be support. Yesterday we discussed that point too. In, right? That is what? Input. Okay, right. So let me write for in operator, that is input operator. So how we are going to use? See, in SQL, how we are going to pass that input? Can you tell me? Select star from EMP where EMP ID is equal to 101. That 101 input output, can you tell me? Yes or no? Right? Coming to SQL, select star from EMP tab. It's our table. Let's assume. Okay. We are passing what where condition? EID equal to what? 101 or something like that here. 102. What happened? Okay. 101, 102, right? Or 103, something like that. Okay. This is called as what? Input. Okay. Suppose, yeah, I want to get multiple records. For example, let me write for your more understanding. Maybe something like that. Okay. So how we are going to write in the single query? Can you write like this? Or I want to write in the single query. Can you tell me how we are going to write? Who is the SQL experts? How we are going to add? Ayyo. Select star from EMP tab where EID. Tell me. Huh? Enough. 101, 102, 103, and so on. Yes or no? Right? In operator here, in the Oracle, that's what I asked you. Who is the Oracle expert online? Right, correct. Who is that? Nagababu, Anil. Right, perfect. Thank you. That is what in operator we are using. Okay, right. So even do you have the idea about the between? What is that? Between here. Between is what? From to. Right? For example, I want to write that SQL query like what? Tell me. Select star from EMP tab where I just am writing A and B. Correct or not? From 2. Right? A is from, B is what to 2. You can write your own. Even it can be like supporting what group by, order by. Is there anything having class group by, order by, and etc. Okay, right. So that is all about it. So this is what in the database point of view. Suppose if we use that in the Java related, let's assume example for what use table and column names. Okay, not for what class and variable names. Okay, so if you want to use that query, if we want to use that query, see, to use this, we need to provide what? Additional, we need to provide additional parameter or param to the at the rate to query annotation. At the rate to query annotation as what? Native query equal to what? You have to mention like this. So just I'm highlighting, don't use this double quotes in the program. Okay, that query to the query annotation as what? As what? Native query equal to what? True. Okay, that is what. Okay, but these are not recommended. Okay, so they are executed without what? Dialect. So that's what. Once you are migrating from database to database, it may not work properly. Without dialect, maybe if we are using that native queries, maybe while changing with one database to another database, or maybe if you want to connect with what? Multiple databases, maybe it cannot be support this kind of approach. Okay, I repeat once again. Tell me, these are not recommended. These are not recommended to use what? Native query equal to true. These are not recommended. Okay. Because they are executed. They are executed what? Without dialects. Without dialects. Okay. So without a dialect, once you migrate database to that is one database better, one database to come on. One database to another database, one database to another database, it may not what? It may not work properly. May not work what? Properly. Okay. So that means while communicating or while connecting multiple databases here, see in the microservices, we should use what? Multiple databases also. So if you are using native query, it may not work. Okay. See, the native query without dialects, it is executing. Okay. But while changing one database to another database, it may be problem with that. Okay. Right. So that's why. So it is not recommended. Okay. The multiple databases also not work properly. Okay. Right. Next. Okay. Coming to the common point, I am using for non-select operation. See, for non-select, that query annotation, for non-select operation, how we are going to do? At the rate query, how we are performing? this at the rate query by default indicates what? Indicates as it is select query by default. Yes or no? Select SQL. Okay. It means that query representing what? Select only. It means like this. If you use at the rate query, it is representing what? Select only. That is what select. So that's why that's why we have to taken care. Okay, not only for that query annotation. Yeah, that query annotation, it is working. Select and non-select operation, agree, but we need to do extra. See, let's say one layman example. See, you joined for the course learning. Course learning is not a big deal. After course completion, you may or may not be get the job. Why are you saying like that? Because of, if you are properly listening the class, if you are properly noting the main points, if you are properly practicing, then only there is a chance to get the job. Agree? Yes or no? Course joining, it is not a big deal. I want to join some X course, but I don't want to attend to the class. Then course will complete whether I'm going or not. But I don't have the knowledge. Without going the class, how can I get the knowledge? How can I get the job? How can I prove myself in the interview room? Yes or no? That is what. See, while using the at query annotation, if you want to perform the non-select operation, you have to do extra something. Why? Because if you mentioned at the rate query, by default it is representing what? Select operation. Yes or no? Are you getting? If you are using at the rate query by default, it is representing for what query? Only select query. But sir, you told it supports select and non-select. Yes, non-select what? Update and delete. Yes, it is supporting. But not through only at the rate query annotation. You need to add some masala. Okay, that means one more annotation we have to use. That few more annotations, right? That is what? Online, are you following? Can you confirm? Online, are you there? Always 3 or max 5 or 6 students. Yesterday, what is that? Written exam is example. How the interviews are going on. Okay, na? Right. While learning the course, if you are exhibiting laziness, the entire life will become as a lazy. Seriously. Yesterday, written exam is the example. How I can achieve the knowledge. How much I have. How much I have to get it. You have to decide here. Okay. Especially online. Some people may be joining for what? Time pass. Some people only. Dedicated people. I don't consider all of them as sincere students. Okay, that is your choice here. I don't want to talk. It is none of the business. Okay, at the rate query, yeah. See, by default what? At the rate query by default indicates what? As it is what? Select SQL na. Okay. See, but that at the rate query annotation will support non-select operation also, like except insert. That is either update and delete. But we need to add some masala along with what? At the rate query. Just for your General language I told here. Okay. So coming to the point. So if you want to perform non-select operation, you have to do, you have to use at the rate query along with what? Along with what? At the rate modifying. This is what the masala plus at the rate transactional. See, now it can be becomes as what? Non-select query. Now you can do what? Update and delete. Yes or no? This is what the masala are. Now it can be performing what? Non-select operation. I hope you are getting. The famous interview question, what is the purpose of the rate transactional annotation? Even you are the 10 plus experience or 15 plus experience also. Okay. Clear, guys? Online. Transactional. Okay. Right. See. అదే అడిగరా? See how much importance for this transactional. Okay, right. Maybe they won't ask, I think, modifying annotation. Maybe they won't ask at the rate query annotation, but they must be asked what? At the rate transactional. Okay, that much importance, right? So finally we are going to use them at the rate transactional. The way of using, the way of utilization, the way of utilization the above annotations. Guys, don't misunderstand me. See, I want to give the most what I am going to cover, that much subject I am ready to give. Okay, it is more helpful for your career here. Okay, right. What is that? Modifying at the rate modifying. Now at the rate query, then only you can use here. How we are going to? Now you can use what? Update employee. What is this employee? Table or class? Oi, class. We are not using table. Update table what? You can use what? Set. See, SQL case sensitive, case insensitive. SQL case insensitive. It means you can write either uppercase, either in the lower case. Agree? Okay. Let me write like this for your understanding. Update. My class name is only starting character. That is the class name. That's why I don't want to make all our uppercase in the employee. Okay. This is what the class name here. The starting character only uppercase. The remaining I can't. Okay. In the set to what? Uppercase. Because this is one of the attribute of what for the update statement, right? Okay. Right. Update employee. What? Set EMP name. EMP name is what? Database column name our entity class variable. Database column name or our entity class variable name? Entity class variable name. See, if the database column name, then I am using like this, E name. Yes or no? In the previous examples here, EMP ID, Data, this is what Java variable. The related column is what EID. You can take any name. Even same also, that is fine. I don't want to disturb you. But I want to differentiate from Java variables with what? Our database columns. Even our Java class with what? Our database table name. Getting my point? So now that EMP name is what? Our class variable here. Just I'm using what? Alias name. Sorry. What is that? EMP name, right? So I am using what? Some name. Maybe maybe I can use what? Some name, whatever. Some employee name. The way of giving. Okay. That is what? The way of you can where, okay, the where EMP sal equal to some 1000. Let's me something. Okay, or else for your understanding. Okay, salary I mentioned like B. Sir, salary never be like ABC. It should be numbers. See, I'm giving example. What you are trying to do? I want to update my record. Database, attribute. This is my entity class name. This is database attribute. EMP name, our Java class or our entity class variable. Just I want to update something, some X here. Okay, maybe X is all our awareness, right? EMP name some X. Where that salary is what Y. Let's say. Just example I given. Okay. There is no salary like ABC or XYZ here. You know, right? Just for your understanding point of view only, I given like this. Clear? Okay. Right. That's all about it. Next, you can use Hibernate with the data JPA also. We can like you can use something. For example, you can try. I hope you got the clarity, right? First of all, how we are going to write? Let me write here. For what? Hibernate with what? JPA. How we are going to write? See, for example, I'm giving. Yeah. Right. For example, I'm going to give Hibernate with what? JPA. Just try block. After that, catch block. Okay. Inside, I'm going to give the exception. Okay. Coming to the try block, it should be what? Begin transaction. Method. Just I'm trying to give the example. You can create the session factory session, right? Transaction, begin transaction method you can, right? Begin transaction method is there. Okay. Configurations and all we can. So in that begin transaction, at the end, we have to use what? You can commit that transaction. Transaction reference here. Okay. Transaction TX. Okay. Now I am going to commit with what? Transaction. Sir, if maybe exception may be happened, then what? Transaction should be not committed. It should be what? Roll back. Getting my point? Do you have the knowledge about what is the difference between commit and rollback? Yes, commit is what? Save. Rollback is what? Undo operation. Simple, right? Undo operation. Right, yeah. Clear? Try block and catch block with what? Hibernate with data JPA. Data JPA. Okay, right. So I want to develop the one program here. I hope you got the clarity about that query annotation. Clear? How we are going to perform the select? How we are going to performing non-select? You might be aware of it. Right? For select query, you can use alone that query annotation. Agree? Yes or no? Guys, that query annotation alone you can use for what operation? For select operation. Okay? For non-select operation, that too either update or delete operation. Along with the query annotation, you have to use what? At the rate modifying and at the rate what? Transactional. Clear? I hope you got the clarity. Okay. Shall we go for a developing the application? Online. Are you good with that? Online. Can you confirm? All doubts God will help you. Online. I hope. Right. Now you can develop the application. File yarrow, new yarrow, Spring Starter project yarrow. My soap is slow. Springboard data JPA, not collection, that is query application. All are okay, all are same as the regular activities. Next, what are the dependencies? Spring data JPA, Oracle driver. If you are using the Oracle, maybe if you are using MySQL or maybe SQL server or DB2 or Postgres or whatever, you can select the different driver. Okay. The third one is Lambda. That's it. The selected dependencies are getting in the right side in the selected list. Okay. Right. The next one and finish. It will take few seconds. You can wait. Maybe Monday onwards, we are going to start association mapping. Data JPA association mapping. Okay. Still going on. Done? Okay. I'm going to create one model class. Right click on that package, model or entity, one and the same. Okay, right click on that package, new arrow, that is class. Package, I want to separate each and every class. Like what? Model. That class name is what? Employee. Okay, nothing else. One minute. Huh? Okay. Oh, it is still loading. Huh? Very good. How we are going to create the entity class? At the rate entity. What is the shortcut to get the package? Control Shift O. Next, at the rate table. In that table, you can provide the name, some EMP tab, whatever, yeah. Okay, EMP underscore tab. Control Shift O. It is little slow. Next, at the rate data annotation for address getters and all. There is a default constructor, no args. Control space bar. Parameterized constructor, all args. Control space bar. Okay, that's enough. Any extra? No, right? I hope you're clear. Now I want to create what? Employee ID. That is private integer of what? EMP ID. Variables private string EMP name. Private, I'm using some double big decimal also. Okay, anything you can. EMP sal whatever. How we are going to make this EMP ID as a primary key? At the rate ID. I need that column. At the rate column. What? Sorry. Name equal to EID. Then length also required. Otherwise, it is eating our brain. Again, length 15. This is what? E-name. Then what? E-salary. Come on. E-sal. That's it. Okay, are you good with that? So, why I am writing the manually programs? There is a chance to write the programs explicitly in front of the interviewer. Okay, na? Just they won't expect the entire program. They can expect at least the structure. The structure is required. Okay, right. I am going to create another class. Who is that? Yeah, I given that length. Okay, right. New. What you are going? Repository is required, right? Interface or not? I'm just writing what repo. This is what repository I'm going to create. I can write employee repository. Employee repository. Correct now? Okay. Now come to here. I want to make this interface as a repository. See, in the beginning we are used what at the rate repository. Okay. Now there is a interface called what is that? JPA repository. JPA repository. Right. What is the T? Can you tell me? Class T is what? Employee class. ID is what? Whatever the primary key there in the entity class, that variable data type. Getting my point? Data type. See, this is what entity class. The T representing what? Our entity class name. ID means in the entity class. See here the combination. Here the combination both same class. For your more understanding. T representing what? Entity class. ID representing what? The same entity class. The same entity class. You make one column as a primary key column. That is ID at the rate ID. So that column, not column name, not ID, it should be